Hello, my name is Dr. Jasmine Myers,
And I'm Deron Myers.
and we're with Myers Life Coaching. So, we've been posting video blogs here lately on various topics every Sunday at 9 p.m. Central on JZ 94.5. We have a segment where we talk about life coaching topics, relationship issues, anger issues, etc. This weekend, we discussed blended family.
And with blended families, that means that either you had a couple of kids outside the relationship or you bringing kids into a new relationship and maybe your partner also has kids. So it's kind of like the modern day Brady Bunch.
Yes. The blending of families. And with that, there comes a lot of challenges as far as managing those relationships with your children, with the parents of those children, inside and outside of the relationship. So there's a lot to consider. You know, if there was a previous divorce and there's certain rules within the divorce clause or custody order that dictates visitation and so forth, there's a lot to manage in that.
Yeah, because you need to really work together and you and your spouse have to be that united front to show the kids that we are together. These are our rules for this household, and everybody has to abide by them.
So let me just read you some statistics about blended families. Okay. Now this comes from the Vital Statistics Report, U.S. Vital Statistic Report, as of 2010 now. So I'm sure this has changed. But ultimately, 60% of all remarriages eventually end in legal divorce. Now these are U.S. statistics. About 75% of divorced persons eventually remarry. About 65% of remarriages involve children from prior marriages and from blended families. So 2/3 of all women and 37% of all children are likely to spend some time in a step family.
That's why it's so important that we talk about this because it really is something that's affecting our children. It's affecting us as adults. It really is the way the world is changing now. So it's something that you really have to learn how to cope with and get the parenting skills and also the relationship skills to deal with these families and really make it strong because it really is just building your family, a bigger family than what it was before.
Mm-hmm. And 1 of 3 Americans is now a step parent, or stepchild, or step sibling.
So you have to learn how to live in a different relationship, in a different family. So it's different attitudes, and different rules, and certain things that you can and can't do that you may have been able to do in your old home or in your old relationship or with your mother and your father. And now they have a different person in their life and rules may change.
And when families merge, it's almost inevitable that children will feel jealousy, insecurity, all types of emotions. So as parents, we must be there for our children. We must be there for our partner, adjusting to our children in the home, so forth.
And just know it's hard for the kids. If it's hard for the parent, it's hard for the kids. So you don't want to make them feel like they're outsiders looking into this new perfect family and they don't have any place or they don't fit in. You want to welcome everybody.
Mm-hmm. So how do you manage the relationships with the children? We're going to start there. Don't expect to fall in love with your partner's children overnight. It takes time to build a relationship with that child. So don't beat yourself up. Don't feel guilty. Just continue to try to work at it.
And just know the child is uncomfortable too. So you have to really approach the child in an easy way and let them know that, look, I just want to help. I don't want to hurt you. I just want to help you. And we're family now.
Mm-hmm. And find ways to experience real life together. You know, go to theme parks or bowling or to the park and outings and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Because the stronger your bond is, the more your partner will see that you're trying to develop a relationship with his or her child.
Mm-hmm. And you know, you have to make that personal relationship a priority with that child.
In turn, that will make your relationship strong.
Mm-hmm. And children, they crave individual attention. They crave that ability to come up to you and have that conversation. Not saying you're trying to be their friend or take over for their mother or father or whomever. It's just about building that relationship with you.
And with children, you want to show them unconditional love. Just like a parent or a father would normally show their love for their child in a way that maybe a step parent won't show their love.
Mhm. Okay, so parents, how do you manage your relationship within your relationship? So, when you're walking into a situation like this, you want to discuss discipline. You want to discuss punishment. You want to discuss how you're going to manage things if the child does mess up and how you're going to manage that as a united front.
Yeah, because you both want to be on the same page. If your spouse isn't there and the rules still apply, it's the same rules, and you want to be able to enforce those rules as though the parent is still in the house.
Mm-hmm. And also, know your parenting styles. If one partner is more authoritative, if one is a little more lax, understand these things so that, when you come into the situation, you can use both your strengths to effectively discipline the child.
Exactly. Because you want that parent to know that I'm going to treat your child just like I would treat my child or just like you were here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now here's a biggie. Don't allow for ultimatums. Your kids or new partner may put you in a situation where you feel you have to choose between them. Remind them that both sets of people are important, that everyone's life is important, everyone's equally important.
Exactly. Because you don't want to seem like you're singling one out or leaning more toward the other. Because as soon as you do that, the other person will feel like they're left out of the family or they're out of the loop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we see this a lot. Oh well, do I have to choose my children or my partner? That's not fair to anybody.
And if you decided to be with that partner, then it's you and that partner.
Mm-hmm.
So you decide how y'all going to parent all these things. If they're going to be living, if the children are going to be living in the household with you, you have to make sure that you create a healthy environment for the children. So if you and that partner is fussing and fighting about how you're parenting, then that's not creating a good environment for the child.
And that's showing the child that things are confused and out of order. Kids, they're going to get away with as much as they can get away with. So if they can see that they can pull maybe one to the left or one to the right more so that they can do what they want to do, essentially that's what they're going to want to do. So if you go into it together as a united front, they'll know, oh, I just can't get away with this.
Yeah, because kids like to try to play one against another. And that's even with their own parents. So you already know with a father and then a step parent, they're going to treat them a certain type of way. So where you want to make sure that everything is on the up and up. You know how that person is going to handle that child when you're not in the situation.
And limit your expectations. You may give a lot of time, energy, love, and affection to your new partner's kids that will not be returned immediately.
Exactly. Because you have to show that child that, look, I love your father, I love your mother, and in turn, I love you too. Y'all are basically a package deal. But I want to make sure that I create a relationship with you so that way you can come to me and we can share in the same type of love that you love your parents.
Mm-hmm. All right, so within the relationship, when it comes to dealing with, say, your ex girlfriend or boyfriend, baby mama, baby father, your divorcee, you have to get on business-like terms with them. Make sure you keep things about the children.
Yeah, because the one thing about it, if they know that they can control your emotions or control your household, and if they're not coming from a happy place where they've moved on and they're still miserable or maybe bitter about the relationship that you had, then they may try to manipulate or control your household through anger or say that no, my child isn't coming over there. I don't want them to be around that person or that type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Keep calm, in disagreements and discussions, with, say, the baby mother or baby father or ex-spouse or whomever. And also,
make sure that the child understands that you're just coming from a loving place You don't want to show the child animosity or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that because they pick up on that. Kids read emotion, and also they know if you genuinely like them or if you're putting on an act or a front.
Mm-hmm.
So be open with the child. Make sure that you're always positive and don't have a negative aspect on it. Even if you argue with that parent, don't treat the child bad because you had an argument, because it's not the child's fault that you and the father or the mother are having a disagreement.
Mm-hmm. And if you are not the child's immediate parent and you're the party in the relationship that's, reacclimating yourself to this child and so forth, stay out of the argument. That's the biggest thing I can say. Take yourself out of the argument.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you insert yourself, now they can blame, oh, your new wife, she just doesn't understand how we raise our kids, or X, Y, Z. Take yourself out of it so that they're left to handle and manage that situation.
Yeah, because ultimately they are the parents of the child
Mm-hmm.
when they have to make certain decisions, whether the child is coming to the household or maybe the child has skipped school or has certain things or issues that they're trying to deal with. Let them make sure that they have the first say so in it,
Mm-hmm.
and then whatever parent that you're connected to, then they come in and relate, this is how we're going to handle this, and then you all are in the same loop, you all are in the same circle, because really, it's an extended family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, here's what's going to cause drama. All right. So, don't sleep with your baby mama or your baby father if you're in a new relationship and you're trying to build a new relationship.
Because that tells them they have the okay to kind of come in and tear down anything, because one way, yeah, you're jumping the fence, you're straddling the fence. You got one foot in, one foot out.
Don't show your ex that they are getting under your skin. Do your best to control your anger. And it's not easy. There's strategies, there's tips, there's people out there that can help you with that. But do your best to not show them that they have power over your emotions.
If they have power over you, best believe they will.
Mm-hmm. Also, if there's always been bad communication, that could fuel bad communication in your new relationship. So if you have a lot of difficulty communicating with your ex, then ultimately that's going to create problems in your new relationship as well. Because you're going to have to communicate with her. You have a child together. Also an ex could finally be asserting themselves in ways that they didn't in your relationship. So if they start setting new rules and structure and making new demands, this can cause drama. You just have to kind of meet each other both halfway, communicate, and work through it.
Yeah, because if you have a parent that has never parented before, and then all of a sudden they get this revelation that they want to be this great parent, then see it through. Let them make amends and let them be that parent. Because eventually they'll show their true colors if it's not sincere.
And a lot of times the drama is a cover up for how they really feel. If they haven't completely let go of the relationship, if they feel like, why does she have him over me? And there's that competitive spirit in them, that's going to cause drama. And a lot of times when people's lives are out of control, they try to create chaos within other people's lives. So if they're not in a good place, if they're not at peace, or they haven't forgiven or completely dealt with the situation in the way they should have, it's likely that they may try to cause drama in your life. So just understand that, misery loves company.
Yeah, because they may see that this person, when we were married or when we were together, he was this or selfish, or he didn't know how to do this, or he never stepped up to responsibility. And now they see this new relationship where you've actually saw the error of your ways and you're trying to turn it around and be that person or be that father in that child's life that you never were. And that may make them angry.
Mm-hmm. All you can do is work on yourself. You're not responsible for the behavior of other adults.
Exactly. We can control our emotions. We also are our boss of our own destiny. So you have to make sure that for your family, you want to show unconditional love. So that way they go off and have healthy relationships as well.
Mm-hmm. So that's just, some brief, thoughts that we had on blended families and, we just wanted to discuss this topic and kind of define it with you guys so that, we can just share some of the knowledge and information that we've acquired through working with our clients.
And just remember, unconditional love will rule over all.
Mhm.
Goodbye.